Welcome to Explore with John McFall. Today, we're diving deep into something that supply chain leaders across the world are struggling with. How to structure their digital tech stack to actually drive transformation, not just digitization. And if you've ever felt like your ERP system is doing more blocking than enabling, then this episode will hit home. We're going to break the digital supply chain stack down into three distinct layers. We're going to have our infrastructure, our application, and ultimately our differentiation layer. I'll show you how each one should work, what goes wrong when they don't, and why clarity here is key to building smarter, more adaptive supply chain stacks. So over the next series of videos, we're going to deep dive and we're going to break them down into three distinct chapters of about 20 minutes each. So whether you're a CIO, a supply chain director, or a transformation lead, there's insight here for you. So let's get into it. Let's start with the base, the infrastructure layer. This is your supply chain's digital bedrock. You can think of it like the foundation of a house. You wouldn't build a penthouse on sand. The same principle applies to your ERP, data platform, and compliance framework. The infrastructure layer is where your ERP lives and where it should stay. It's your system of record. It stores your financials, your inventory master data, your procurement contracts. It's built to, be accurate and stable, not to innovate. ERP does a great job of storing transactions, processing invoices, managing your general ledger, tracking payroll, management procurement cycles, and it does all of that within a highly regulated, highly auditable environment. And that's the point. It's designed for control, not for change. Now let's take a moment to understand why pushing ERP beyond its core purpose is such a common and ultimately very costly mistake. Companies believe that since ERP touches everything, it should manage everything. But what happens is scope creep, and with scope creep comes rigidity. A global manufacturer I worked with invested in embedding their S&OP process directly into their ERP. On paper, it made perfect sense. Have one system, avoid integration problems, and simplify data management. In practice, however, the opposite happened. The system became difficult to update. Data refreshes were delayed, and planners had to pull numbers into spreadsheets just to make decisions. Ultimately, they lost the agility that they wanted, they lost transparency, and the team lost trust in the system. What was the cost to them? It was millions in stock out and expediting. And the kicker? When the market changed mid-cycle, they had no visibility or responsiveness. The lesson they learned? Stop trying to make your ERP more than it is. It's a ledger, not a cockpit. So what should go into your infrastructure layer? Your ERP, yes, but also your identity and access management, your cloud infrastructure, your security and compliance stack, your data lake, your integration fabric. This is where the concept of built to last comes in. We prioritize stability over change. So therefore, the goal isn't change fast, it's to ensure accuracy, consistency, and availability. You want an infrastructure layer that supports other layers, not one that tries to do everything by itself. And let's not forget the importance of APIs here. APIs are what let you connect your legacy systems to modern applications. It means you can, run a cloud-native planning tool or a TMS while keeping your ERP untouched and intact. That's architectural freedom. Now look, remember this. Data is your raw material. If the quality is poor, so too are your outcomes. ERP does not clean your data. That's why you need robust data management and real-time validation tools. So these are part of the infrastructure. They're not optional extras. Let me give you a basic example. A retailer we supported had added a cloud-based data layer, and suddenly their planning cycle dropped from 10 days to 3. But why? Well, because they could finally trust the numbers. And that's a real benefit of investing in infrastructure. Not speed, not necessarily innovation, just trust. So what do you need to remember about your infrastructure layer? It's not a place for innovation, and it's not a place for agility, but it's essential. Without it, the rest of the tech stack can't function. It's built to last, so secure it properly, connect it wisely, and whatever you do, don't overload it. In the next section, we'll take a look at the application layer, where your supply chain actually moves, where execution happens, and where modularity becomes your best friend.